What's up, everyone? This is Clock Management. I'm your host, Justin, and as always, I'm joined by Perry.
How's it going, buddy?
It's going fantastic. It's casual Friday here at the office, so I dressed down a little bit, no tie.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, your hands look pretty heavy. Do you mind if I hold one?
Well, I need them for my coffee, so not this morning. Sorry.
I'll just hold the other one. Why you don't need two hands for your coffee?
It's a lot of coffee.
You got one of those giant mugs?
I need one.
I like a small mug with my coffee. Fun fact for all of you out there.
No,
I like
I like these
like
big
4 cups.
mugs.
No. Small mugs, right? It stays warmer longer. Or
Yeah, I'm
not
pretty sure
longer.
that's false.
Not longer, but I'll drink like three of them instead of like one giant one. But then I can keep the pot, hot, in the kitchen.
Okay, I see.
Anyway,
Yeah,
fantasy football,
yeah.
right? Is that what we do here?
Quarterbacks today. Uh,
Quarterback today.
yeah, top 12 of them. Uh,
Yeah.
Basically, you're starting quarterbacks for fantasy purposes. Um,
Let me just ask you, Justin, the like bottom like three of this top 12, was it pretty hard?
it was fun.
It was fun, but it
The,
was like pretty hard, right?
oh, yeah, and there's people outside them that I will probably still bring up today just because I was like, man, I can't believe this guy ended up here for me.
Right.
Oh, man.
Right.
Yeah, good
I think I
times.
fall think I fall like fairly close to the consensus on these guys, to be completely honest, but I've got
I
a
I
couple
had
that,
two or three that were pretty far outside the consensus.
well, that's you. You like to be like, you know,
Contrarian.
yeah, contrarian. You
Yeah,
like
you
to
got
be
to fight
different.
it. You got to fight against
Right.
the grain.
Right. And like, you know, most of the time you're wrong. I'm just gonna say it.
No,
But the times you're right, you'll never let me forget.
absolutely. Yeah, Dalvin Cook,
Dalvin Cook. Yes.
Brandon
Yeah.
Cooks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as long as I remind you enough, those are the only ones that you'll remember.
It's true. So now I'm trying to think of some of the other ones, and I'm drawing a blank. There was a running back for the team in Washington.
Yeah. Oh, Geis?
Yes,
Yeah.
Darius
No,
Guice.
he's still elite level running back all of
You wouldn't put
preseason.
him down. Yeah.
He should be in the preseason Hall of Fame.
He probably should. Yeah. Uh, Justin, do you got any like maintenance or stuff we need to cover? We haven't been on for a little while
Yeah.
before we jump into some
Um.
discussion here.
Yeah. I mean, just follow us on social media. That'll be fun. There's a Expo coming up in Ohio and Canton, same place as Hall of Fame. You guys look that up. It's called the Fantasy Football Expo. It's hard to remember. Um, and I will be there. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
When is it coming up?
Oh,
You said soon.
yeah. It's in August. I don't
Mhm.
know the exact date. You have to look it up. I'll have to get my secretary figure that stuff out, Perry.
That's not me.
No. I'm just saying my secretary. I'm pretty, which is
Oh,
just
okay.
Google. It's Google. It's
Oh,
Google.
gotcha. Gotcha. I was like, wait, do you want me to be your secretary? Like, listen, I'm not
I
offended,
didn't
but
know it was an
you're
option.
not gonna be happy with the results. So
Yeah, but anyway, we were talking about all the news going on.
yeah, I mean, you and I haven't done an episode in a little while. I think we're both just kind of wrapped up in our lives right now. But um, I don't think we're going to cover like news like we normally do. I just wanted to talk about probably the biggest thing that's happened since our last episode, and that's the Julio Jones trade. We just haven't covered it on the show. I know it's been covered a lot, but I just wanted to kind of hear how you feel about it.
Yeah, I've
Um,
seen some interesting takes on this, right? And
right.
um,
Let's start with like the Falcons side. All right, let's start with like their pass catchers and their quarterbacks and how they're affected.
okay, so the this one's driving like the Kyle Pitts hype train is out of control for redraft. Uh,
Yeah,
he is now the number four tight end on very many websites, and that is out of control. Uh, at this rate, he will probably surpass, whoever the number three is on those websites, because I see that flip flop between Kittle and Waller. And at that time, if I've already drafted him, that's the perfect time to trade him away.
um, yeah, Kyle Pitts, I think like he obviously moved up slightly when
Yeah.
Julio left for me. I think I'd be silly not to at least, give him a few more targets.
Yeah.
But for me, like the question on whether or not I want to draft Pitts starts at like 6 or 7, not 4.
Yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely.
and
I have him as my 7.
right, and I don't.
And I
I heard
think it's
this
a
on the
solid 7 now. Before I felt like it was, it was still risky as a rookie tight end, even though he is an like unbelievable talent, but
right,
he's still a rookie tight end, so it's still
right,
risky. But now I feel like it's more of a solid floor.
right, and I heard this on another show, and I thought it was really important to bring up because it seemed obvious to me, but I suppose maybe it's not to people that don't sit here and do this year round. But tiers versus rankings are really important, right? We have Kyle Pitts I have him at 6, you have him at 7. Um, that doesn't necessarily mean that the guy that I have at 5, Mark Andrews, is like just barely ahead of Pitts. I've got Mark Andrews quite a bit ahead of Pitts in terms of my tiers, right? There's a tier drop off after Mark Andrews, in my opinion. And so, I'm not necessarily, oh, Mark Andrews is off the board, I'll draft Pitts with like 2 picks later. I don't think that is a good idea. So, anyways, that's just something I thought I'd bring up. Like rankings, just because they're right next to each other as a number, they may not be right next to each other in
For value.
tiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, I gotta say, Calvin Ridley is
Mhm.
not Juju. Just for anyone out there, if you're wondering, that's
Yeah.
not the case. I saw a lot of people also talking about that, like, oh well, we saw, Antonio Brown leave, and then Juju just sucked and like he couldn't get open and all this stuff. No, we've seen Calvin Ridley without
Yeah.
Julio, and it's amazing.
Yeah, he's very good.
Yeah, so that it
Yeah.
is not the same situation by any measures.
Yeah.
He was already the number one there last year, so just go ahead and continue that. I love Calvin Ridley this year.
Yeah, me as well. I'm not worried about, other than like the standard, like it's fantasy and anything could happen. I'm not worried. Yeah. And that standard, it's fantasy and anything can happen, literally is true for every player. So, there is a world where Calvin Ridley is bad this coming season. It's a very low chance, in my opinion. But then there's going to be all these people that come out of the woodwork and be like, I told you, it's because Julio left. It's like, oh, gosh. No. Calvin Ridley's good. He's borderline top 4
Yeah.
for me. I'll see an argument to put him at 4, but I don't know. I'm not quite ready to put him ahead of DeAndre Hopkins, but it's very close. It's very close.
Yeah, I just clicked over on my rankings, see where I have him. Yeah, I have him at number 5, so that makes sense.
Do you have AJ Brown ahead of him?
No,
No? Yeah.
no.
So that leads, look at that segue. That leads me into the Titans. How are the Titans affected? Oh, last thing I want to say, Matt Ryan is definitely affected.
Oh,
Definitely moved down my rankings,
yeah. Yep.
but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Titan side of the ball, Justin.
Titans
AJ
side-
Brown, did he move down for you?
So AJ Brown moved down slightly. I didn't have AJ Brown as high as the rest of like consensus rankings did, so it was a very slight downward movement for me, because I think that this is beneficial for football for him, not necessarily for fantasy, but it makes it harder to just double team him constantly and like put the entire focus of the defense on him. So I think that this is better for him for fantasy or for football purposes than for fantasy purposes.
Yeah.
So very slight for me.
Yeah. A lot of people have gone like it seems either way on this. It's nice to hear that you're kind of sitting in the middle mostly, because it's true Julio Jones is going to draw coverage. I think Julio Jones isn't washed up, right? Like I don't think that's the case. He's definitely not the Julio of 2 years ago, but he's not washed up. So he's going to draw coverage. He's also going to draw targets. So a lot of people think, oh, Julio's going to pull double teams and stuff like that. Well, maybe sometimes, but double teams are still going to have to go to AJ Brown's way, and he's not going to just all of a sudden have no coverage. So I do think that it's not a lateral move, but he's definitely going to go down just a little bit. I just think the offense in general will be better. But yeah.
Do you think
Anyway,
he's like AJ Green of last year?
no, I think he's better than that. AJ Green of last year was just so bad.
But he got a lot of targets.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, that makes it worse, right? Like
Yeah.
that makes it worse.
Over 100 targets last year.
Yeah, Julio Jones is better than that. Like, let's be honest. I mean, he was fighting injury last year. The only way Julio Jones is that bad is if he continues to fight injury, which is totally possible. But
Yeah.
I think he'll be fine, right?
You remember during the draft or pre-draft period, I was telling you like I have Derrick Henry a lot lower than everyone else because I felt like it was just going to be constant stacked boxes for him with no.
And you remember when I told you
they would
that they were gonna
draft
bring in a wide receiver?
draft, I believe your words were.
I was hoping you wouldn't hold me on that verbiage, but yeah.
So apparently this was their master plan all along. Like we don't need to draft because we're going to go trade for Julio Jones, which
Derrick Henry is
they got lucky
firmly,
this happened. But
Derrick Henry is firmly my number 4 running back now.
yeah, I have to look. He's definitely moved up my rankings after this. Like I'm more in line with the consensus at this point.
Welcome. Okay. Last thing I wanted to talk about
And it sucks for Fursker.
Yeah, that was who I was worried about. The last thing I wanted to mention before we jump into our quarterback rankings is Deshaun Watson. I don't want to talk about him the whole episode every time we bring up a ranking on how it would be affected if he were going to be playing. I do not think he'll be playing. He is not in my rankings. I'm not sure he'll be suspended by the end of the season, but I'm pretty confident he'll be put on the commissioner's exempt list and not be eligible to play.
And
so
even if there is the chance he doesn't get put on the commissioner's exempt list, he still doesn't want to play for the Texans.
Right. His whole situation is just a mess, and I don't want anything to do with it. So I'm just assuming he's not in the NFL until he walks out onto that field and throws a football. So anyways, let's jump into some quarterback rankings, Justin.
Yes.
I'll start us off. I'll take the hit here and make the controversial pick. Patrick Mahomes is my number 1.
Right division, wrong quarterback.
Don't you say that name. Patrick Mahomes, number 1. Right. I don't think I'm alone in this podcast, right? Saying that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go out on a limb here and agree with you.
Right. I just listen, there are seasons where Patrick Mahomes will not be the number 1 fantasy quarterback. That's happened now twice in a row.
Yeah, but there are not seasons that he will not be the most talented quarterback.
Right. And there will not be seasons where he clearly has the most potential to be the number 1 quarterback.
Yeah.
So, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, all these guys that could definitely be the number 1 quarterback. If I'm putting down money, if I'm saying, hey, my next paycheck is going down on one of these guys to be the number 1 quarterback, it's Patrick Mahomes. That's how I have to do this. The talent around him is incredible. The coaching around him is perfect for his play style. And yeah, I mean, just watch the playoffs, man. Him making that throw where he's completely horizontal in the air. and
Yeah.
hits the receiver in the hands and he drops it, it's just like, yeah, yeah, he's really good. Like, really good.
Yeah. Um, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go, you tell me number two, buddy.
Okay. Number two, I'm assuming you probably have this guy here as well. It's a guy that we both disrespected last year, and I will continue to apologize to him, and that's Josh Allen.
I do not have Josh
Oh,
Allen.
nice. I
Yeah.
think I know who you do have then. Um, but yeah, Josh Allen, he took that next step last year. His accuracy came up. Stephon
Mhm.
Diggs helped that number even more, and those two have a connection. So I don't think anything got worse for him there, and so I expect much more of the same. Though they did lose John Brown, but they brought in, uh, oh man, forgot his name. Played for the 49ers and Broncos. Uh, Irrelevant for fantasy, but he Emmanuel Sanders. There we go.
Thank you. Yeah.
Uh, it, and
I think Emmanuel Sanders is very good for him, by the way.
Yeah, me too, and the team as a whole.
Yeah. Emmanuel Sanders still has some talent. He's still good for football.
And he's
Uh,
like, you saw how he transformed the 49ers when he came there, like their young wide
yeah,
receiver core. So
exactly.
Cole Beasley could really look up to him and learn something.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
young strapping kid there, Cole Beasley.
Yeah. Young Cole Beasley. All right. No, actually, Josh Allen is number three for me. Number two is Kyler Murray.
Oh, dang. It's not even who I thought it was. I have Kyler at 4.
Yeah, number two is Kyler Murray. I liked what I saw from Kyler last season. I think he'll continue to improve going into this season. I
And
think his
those rushing
situation
numbers help.
yeah, I think his situation got better. I know that they lost Kenyon Drake, but that doesn't really matter to me. The
If it,
running back on
it
both Baltimore and the Cardinals, I don't care which running back it is. They're not really going to help all that much. I'm just going to come out and say it.
and they brought in James Conner, which it
Right.
feels like a completely lateral move to me.
Yep, it's fine. They brought in James Conner. I don't care. Kyler Murray's the best running back on the team. They also drafted Rondale Moore, who I'm a huge fan of. A huge fan of Rondale Moore.
Oh man,
Uh,
his measurables, like if you ever, I always say like the one tool I like to pay for each year is the reception perception. There's not a lot of tools that I will willingly pay for, but that's one of them. And Rondell Moore on reception perception is ridiculous.
yeah, yeah. Love Rondale Moore. And then we talked about AJ Green earlier. I do not think AJ Green's going to get peppered with targets. I do not think AJ Green is going to be fantasy relevant. There's a world, sure, but like,
I honestly forgot that he went there,
yeah,
and I'm okay
but
with that.
I do think that Green brings in a lot of really good experience.
Yeah.
And I think that he will draw some coverage, and I think that he might catch a few touchdowns here. Anyways,
They have
I think
another experienced wide receiver there too, I think.
do they?
Yeah.
Do they? You want me to tell? You want to tell DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah, he's got
Second year with Kyler. Second year with Kyler Murray. No, like huge pandemic to deal with, right? They're going to be able to practice together. They're going to be able to get to know each other during the offseason. DeAndre Hopkins, man, and Kyler Murray are about to light this league up. And I'm excited. He's my number two quarterback.
Yeah, I
My
like it.
number three is Josh Allen, for all the things that you said. I think Stephon Diggs is going to be amazing. I do want to just like if Stephon Diggs does what he did last year again, exactly, I think that would be an incredible success. Those numbers were out of control. I do not expect that again, but I do expect him to be very good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Josh Allen also with the rushing
right.
upside, and he's their goal line back, by the way. So,
Yeah. Josh Allen, I think maybe takes like a little bit of a regression back towards, I don't know, not where he used to be. I don't think he'll ever be that bad again, but just a little bit back here, Josh Allen might move. But again, like I'm not trying to disrespect the guy. He's
you
my
guys
number
heard
three
it. Perry
quarterback.
hates Josh Allen.
That no, that was last year, and I looked like an idiot.
Yeah,
Rightfully so.
me,
Rightfully so.
me too.
All right,
Um,
Justin, who's your number 4?
no, my number three, actually, my number
Who-
four is Kyler Murray. So my number three is Dakota Prescott.
Dakota Prescott.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah,
That
he's
sounds like a Disney Channel star.
he looks like he is too. Uh, no, but he's back from injury, right? Like
Hmm.
he last year he was amazing before he got injured, and so I expect more of the same. And then he has all of the offensive weapons that you could ever want, and they have a horrible defense. Sound like that's just made for fantasy points.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm all on board on this. Like he's got three incredible receivers to throw the ball to, and it doesn't matter who they line up at tight end because they do well too. So I love Dak Prescott. I think he's gonna do fantastic this year. I think the Cowboys are gonna generate a lot of fantasy points.
Okay. So that's your number 3. You have Kyler at number 4. My number 4 is Lamar Jackson.
That's my number five.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson, the rushing upside is what keeps him up here. Kyler Murray's an incredible rushing quarterback. Lamar Jackson is still the best. And I think every year that he's healthy, he will threaten 1,000 rushing yards, which is incredible because that's something that
Yeah.
was never done.
Yeah. Now
So,
he makes it seem now it's like expected of him.
right,
You're disappointed
right,
when he doesn't do it.
right.
Uh,
It's like LeBron James playing in the NBA championship. If he doesn't make it there, everybody's like, he's a failure. It's like, oh my God. But yeah, Lamar Jackson, I mean, his situation, I'm not going to say got better, but it improved slightly, right?
yeah.
They brought in, what's the rookie's name?
Oh shoot, I forgot. They also brought in Sammy Watkins though, which I think does help their team as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I
they
think Sammy Watkins is
was it
maybe a
Bateman?
little bit better than AJ Green. Maybe. I don't know.
Was
I
it
don't really
Bateman
want
they
Sammy
brought
Watkins.
in or they
Yes,
drafted?
yes.
Yeah,
I think so, right?
I'm making sure right now.
Thank you. Anyways, Lamar Jackson's going to remain at number 4 for me, top 4 quarterback, just with that rushing upside. That's what he's going to do. I think that we've shown that Lamar Jackson isn't going to be like this drop back precision passer. He can definitely throw the ball. We've seen that. I don't want to
Yeah, it
disrespect his
was
ability to
Bateman.
throw the ball.
Okay, I thought so.
Thank you. I don't want to disrespect his ability to throw the ball. He can definitely do that with skill, but he's a rushing quarterback. He stays healthy, he's going to put up 1,000 yards, and it's going to be really hard to beat him. So,
Yeah.
I actually have Dak at number 5.
Okay, so we got the same
Where,
top five, just in a different order.
right, where you have Lamar.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
So I think that after five, I feel like things are going to get spicy here, Perry.
Yeah, I'm about to shake things up.
Who's your six?
My number 6 is a young man named Thomas Brady.
Oh, he is not in my top 12.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Tom Brady, over 40 touchdowns last season. He was
Yeah,
a monster.
He was.
And he's going to do it again. He's going to do it again. He brought all his weapons back. He got a full offseason with all of them. The second season for Bruce Arians quarterbacks is always the best one. Tom Brady showed no sign
He's
of
getting
being an old
old.
man. Nope. Nope. He showed no sign of being an old man, except when he stumbled off that boat after winning another Super Bowl. Tom Brady is going to go out there. He's going to throw for over 5,000 yards. He's going to throw for over 40 touchdowns. And the guys below him, I think, have more questions surrounding them
Oh,
than
yeah.
Tom Brady does.
So my number 6 has a huge question because that's Aaron Rodgers.
Right. The question is, can you get fantasy points for Jeopardy?
Ooh.
That's the question.
We will allow that in our league for sure.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
a fantasy
He'll,
championship? Yeah, I have him at 6, and what obviously this will change if he's playing for your Broncos. Uh,
he'll move up.
I don't know. I haven't even like
He'll move up
wrapped
for
my
me if he's
mind
playing.
around it. The receivers definitely will in Denver.
Yeah, my fanboy will know no bounds. Just a fair warning for
Yeah,
everybody here.
Tom Brady, who if he goes there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Tom Brady cleans Aaron Rodgers' shoes as far as I'm concerned if he plays for Denver.
But yeah,
Uh,
obviously, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, amazing quarterback, but is he playing? There's still questions there. But unlike Watson, we both believe that he will play. So,
yeah, yeah.
I,
It'll
I,
be for. I honestly think it'll be for Denver or it'll be for Green Bay.
yeah, me too. And so he's holding this spot in my rankings currently.
Yeah, he's not quite that high for me. I've got him at 7. But yeah.
Okay, so my number 7
Wait,
is
who your number 6 was
Aaron
who?
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Okay. Okay. Cool.
My number 7 is Matthew Stafford.
That's the myth. That's the shakeout.
Yeah, that's the
Nice.
spicy one.
Nice.
Going to the Rams, he's got Woods there. He's got Cooper Cup. He's got Sean McVay. I think this will be one of his best seasons, like we've seen in quite some time. So I think that he's going to tear it up there for the Rams. So yeah, that's why I have him so high. I think that he's gonna go off this season.
My number 7 is Russell Wilson. Uh, I mean, Russell Wilson has shown us multiple half seasons that he has the potential to be the number one quarterback in the league. I don't think he'll be the number one quarterback in the league. I think that what last season proved, and this offseason, in fact, is that Russell Wilson, we
He's
can't have
not a
Russ cook.
chef. Yeah, he's not
Right.
a chef.
Now, we can have Russ cook and they can score a ton of points, but they're going to lose some games. And that's not what works in the NFL. So I think there's going to be a mix of both here. Russ cooking, but also establishing the run, which is what Pete Carroll wants. So that's why I've got him all the way down at 7 rather than up in my top 3. Whereas if Russ was cooking all season and he was throwing the ball 45 times a game, then yeah, Russell Wilson would probably be in my top 3. But it's not happening. I expect a little bit of like a mix of both of what we saw last season. He's got 2 very good wide receivers. Tyler Lockett is still good. Don't let anybody fool you. Tyler Lockett is still good. DK Metcalf is incredible. You and I nailed it. He's the number 1 wide receiver on that team now. I just think Russell Wilson is going to be just fine. And let's be completely honest. If they struggle again, Pete Carroll is gone.
Yeah.
Hot seat for Pete Carroll.
So back to my bold takes last year. I had both of them inside my top 20. Nailed both of them.
Yeah. Although if you owned Tyler Lockett, you were upset.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I have to go back to that because I think I may have said that about Lockett. Like he is a boom or bust player.
Okay, so we're good through 7, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, number 8.
I have Joseph Burrow.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah,
You think that the volume is going to carry him there?
yeah, exactly. Last year he averaged, I believe it was 45 throws a game, which actually was a little bit low because he left it one game immediately when he got injured or really early. So if you remove that game, his average was around 50.
Mm-hmm.
50 passes a game. For reference, Russell Wilson last season, while they were letting Russ cook, his average was 35 throws a game. So that's why I have him actually above Russell Wilson for my rankings because I think Seattle will try to run the ball a little bit more than last year. And I think that the Bengals defense is still horrible and they will continue to just sling that ball even more than before. So, or
Yeah.
just as much as before.
I'm just a little bit little bit worried, a little Burrow worried.
Little
Um,
Burrow.
yeah, about that offensive line. I know a lot of people are trying to cope right now and be like, it's getting a little bit better. It's like, I
It
don't know.
it did improve slightly.
I
Slightly.
think that's copium, my friend. I think you're smoking the copium right now.
I I'm okay with it. Like, just
I
throw the ball shorter.
I don't know. I want you to be right. Just to be clear, I like Joe Burrow and I want him to be super successful, but I'm a little worried about that offense. Anyways, my number 8 is Jalen Hurts.
Also
Uh,
to also though on that, Russell
mhm.
Wilson also has an atrocious offensive line.
But he's had
But
an atrocious offensive line for like 75%
oh
of his.
yeah, no, this like that doesn't affect my rankings because of how mobile he is and elusive. But
Right,
it's hilarious that he wanted to leave Seattle because they want to address the offensive line, and then they didn't address the offensive line, and then he's happy in Seattle now.
right. Well, I think he like saw the situation that was happening with both
Every other quarterback doing
every
this,
other
yeah.
quarterback that's like wanting to leave, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, previous to Deshaun Watson's rape situation, and was like, well, clearly none of these teams are willing to trade their quarterbacks away, so why would Seattle? Anyways, Jalen Hurts is my number 8 quarterback. I
I
just at
love
some
that.
point,
He's just outside my top 12, and I love that. His rushing numbers are
right,
incredible.
right. Yeah, I mean, that's it right there. I don't think Jalen Hurts is like that great of a passer, but he's gonna run the ball, and clearly he's gonna be the starter. So I just had at some point I have to accept that he's going to put up fantasy points because he runs the ball, and it's the cheat code for fantasy. Jalen Hurts. I mean, his receiver situation improved in the draft, so that's great. And I'm just gonna put some faith in there and say that he's a top 10 quarterback at number 8.
I love that, Perry. That makes me happy. I wish I had him there.
Awesome value.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a league winner right there,
yeah. Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely. Uh,
Yeah,
so, number 9, I have Russell Wilson.
yeah, cool. Number 9, I've actually got Ryan Tannehill.
Nice. He's also outside my top 12, but just
Yeah.
outside of it. Ahead of Tom Brady,
Uh,
by the way.
yeah, Ryan Tannehill. I mean, like we were talking before, right? I don't think AJ Brown gets all that much worse or better. Maybe a little bit worse. Julio Jones comes in. I I just looked at the numbers with Julio Jones in for Matt Ryan versus Julio Jones out for Matt Ryan, and I had to decide, is this situation because of Matt Ryan or is it because of Julio Jones? And I decided it's because of Julio Jones. I think Julio Jones, what he does out there on the field is super, super good for his quarterbacks, right? He gets open, he's able to high point the ball, he draws double coverage, which opens up other receivers, right? It's not
Yeah.
all just like it wasn't just all Julio Jones, right?
And then he still catches it in double coverage.
Right. So I just think Ryan Tannehill has shown us now for the last 2 seasons that he's a good quarterback. He's an accurate quarterback. He's an efficient quarterback. He's not going to put up Matt Ryan numbers in terms of volume, but he could put up Matt Ryan numbers in terms of fantasy points on less volume.
Yeah.
So I like Ryan Tannehill this
He's
season.
got to keep those efficiency numbers up. That's the
Right.
one
And
factor for him.
Right, and exactly. I think that's where it comes down to. If you think Ryan Tannehill's going to fall down in efficiency, then you have Ryan Tannehill further down in your ranking.
Yeah. Where? Who's your number 11? Oh, 10. Sorry, we're at 10, right?
Yeah, we're at 10. My number 10 is where I get really spicy here.
Oh,
I don't know if I'm ready to tell you.
I'll tell you mine first. Then
Yeah,
we'll
please,
build
you
the
go first.
suspense.
Yeah, yeah.
I got Justin Herbert there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I,
Yeah,
I mean, he finished higher than that. I just have him here because I think their defense improved some, so he won't need to throw the ball as much. Eckler being there,
yeah.
they'll be able to run the ball a little bit more. But I think that he's a very talented young man, so he's inside my top 10.
Yeah, I've got him at 11. So
Oh, gotcha. Nice.
I like Justin Herbert too. But at number 10, I've got Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I know,
it is
I know.
spicy.
He might not even be the starter.
No, he is yeah, he's definitely the starter.
No, that's not what the
Yeah,
coaching staff
he's
is
got to
saying, Justin.
compete for the job. Yeah, I know.
Right.
The At least they haven't announced a starting quarterback like the Bears though. You know,
Right.
with
Right. Well,
Andy Dalton
again, yeah, Andy Dalton.
starting
Sorry,
quarter
Justin Fields. You got to sit back and learn for a couple of years behind
from
Andy
who?
Dalton.
Oh, oh, that's
Anyways,
scary.
yeah, Trevor Lawrence, number 10. I put him in the top 10. I think that they're surrounding him with talent. I think they're surrounding him with good coaching staff. Uh, he's the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck, and that really means something.
Yeah.
Justin, I know you'll remember when Andrew Luck was coming into the league, it was like,
Yeah,
this kid is really good. And they were right about Andrew Luck. And I think they're going to be right about Trevor Lawrence as well. I think the volume's going to be really high. He can definitely rush the ball. He's not Jalen Hurts or Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray, but he can definitely rush the ball.
I think
I'm
he
excited
will
about
be
Trevor.
great, but I just think it's going to take a little bit longer to develop. I have him at 19.
Too low. Too low.
I have
Wrong.
I have Justin Fields ahead of him because I don't believe Matt Nagy. Uh,
You
uh,
just like Justin Fields.
I
So.
do. I do.
All right. So that was number 10 at 11.
Oh yeah, I already said my 10. Yeah, you're 11. My 11's pretty spicy.
Okay. Lay it on me. I'm ready for some spice.
All right, that's Ryan the Magic Man Fitzpatrick.
Yes. Yes.
Number
I
11, his
love him.
starting quarterback for
I
the
need to pause
Washington football
everything.
team.
I need to pause everything. You saw the picture on Instagram of his first day of practice. Did you see that?
Which one?
The one where, when like a kid goes, "This is my first day of first
Oh,
grade," and
holding
you
up
like
a
hold up
sign. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Did
is
you see? I
hilarious.
posted on Twitter a picture. I'm gonna have to edit this for our podcast, but with the question, is Ryan Fitzpatrick a top 12 QB? And he's holding up that sign, and on it says, "B word, I might be."
Oh yeah. I did see that. It says batch. I might be
Yeah. Biscuit, I might be.
biscuit. I might be. Nice. Yeah, dude. I wish I had the guts. I wish I had the guts to put him up there.
And I
He's
really
not in
like
the
Logan Thomas and obviously Terry McLaurin. They got the Scottish connection there.
That's not true. Anyways, yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome, man. He better not get disrespected and benched for some random
God, right?
baddie. God, that's like his whole career, dude. That's so sad.
Did you just call him a baddie?
Yeah,
I don't
baddie,
think that
dude.
word means what you think it means anymore, Barry.
What does it mean?
It's like a hot chick or a hot person.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so I don't know. Like the last couple of years, see, this is what happens when you have teenagers, Barry. You learn things like this.
Okay. I mean that's probably a good sign, right? I'm not hanging out with teenagers.
Yeah,
'Cause I shouldn't.
that's true.
Right. You should
Good job.
only be if you're 30 and hanging out with teenagers, they better be related to you. Anyways,
At least one of them has to be related to you. The other
Some
one and the other
random-
ones better be friends with that one.
right? Some random bad player.
There you go.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Anyways, my number 11 is Kirk Cousins.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean that if we're all moving Justin Jefferson way up our rankings, I think that we got to move Kirk Cousins up the rankings a little bit. I just have faith that he's going to be out there and be really consistent. That's how he gets to this point, is the consistency. I'm not expecting huge week winning performances from Kirk Cousins, except for the random like 1 4 touchdown game that will probably happen. Otherwise, I think he'll be very consistent. His floor is going to be extremely high.
Nice, nice. That's your number 11?
11.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 12.
Oh, the
Who,
last
who
one.
snuck in, buddy?
Yeah,
Who
who
snuck
snuck
in?
in? Oh man, this guy is good at the quarterback sneak as well. So that's Carson Wentz. Yeah,
Ooh.
Indianapolis. I think he's going back to a system that we saw him successful under. Um, like they have an incredible defense and offensive line, so I think he'll be able to actually like sit back there and throw the ball compared to how he was in Philadelphia, and he'll just have a much more successful year than we've seen from him recently,
Cool. My number 12
and be healthy. Yeah.
is Matthew Stafford. He made it in the top 12.
Oh, nice, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like the Matthew Stafford hype reached its peak right after the trade. And then people seem to be kind of easing off on it, which is great. That means I think you'll get an awesome value in the draft on him. But yeah, I mean, as long as Matthew Stafford is healthy, there's no reason why he won't go out there and put up some really good fantasy points. He's got best weapons he's probably ever had as a whole. Obviously, Megatron was the best weapon that he's ever had and will ever have. Yeah. But as a whole, I think his weapons are better than they've ever been.
Yeah, and I got to ask, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, if Trey Lance was the week 1 starter, would he make it in your top 12?
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
He would be in mine.
No,
just because his rushing upside. He's another one of those mobile quarterbacks. So, and I think that Shanahan would love, or will love, to use that.
No, I like appreciate that everybody like moved Trey Lance way up based on just raw talent. But I think the operative word there is raw. I think he's still pretty raw. I really hope that they don't force him out there this season. I'm just going to say that.
He's playing this season, I promise you.
I just think that I think that might be a little bit of a mistake.
Well, so he's got to, because I mean, if they're moving on from Jimmy G, they need to know that, what they have with him to feel comfortable doing that. So they're going to have to at least put him in for part of, the season, test the waters.
Now, I might not be remembering this correctly, and I can actually check the numbers right now, but with Patrick Mahomes, they didn't do that, did they?
Yeah. Well, they brought him in when
no,
Alex Smith
he played 1 game in 2017, which, like, great. If that's how this happens with Trey Lance, where he plays 1 game due to an injury, or, hey, it's last game of the season, we got nothing to play for, that's fine with me. But then Patrick Mahomes played 16 games his following season. Like, he sat back.
Yeah, but it was slightly different because Alex Smith, they weren't getting, having to cut Alex Smith or trade. He got injured.
Did he, though?
I'm pretty sure, right?
I don't think that's why he lost his job.
I'm going to have to go back and look because I thought so.
No, I think they made the playoffs with Alex Smith.
And then
he was ready to go the following season, but they...
Oh, yeah, the following season, yeah. But I think that's how he lost the job, was he got injured. Similar to when he did in San Francisco.
What I'm saying is, I hope it's a similar situation. I think it's better for Trey Lance.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's better for every quarterback in the NFL in that situation. Like every rookie quarterback, well, 90% of them, if they sit for a season. But it's just not the reality anymore. I think, teams don't do that anymore.
I think that Trevor Lawrence is ready to go.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I changed my statement to 90%.
I think Justin Fields is more ready to go.
Yeah, but I also think he would benefit from sitting a season.
Yeah, I don't think Trey Lance is ready to go. And I think like people and San Francisco 49er coaching staff needs to realize that like, okay, there's a chance, there's a more greater than zero chance that you put him out there and he's awesome. But there's also a greater than zero chance, probably be a higher chance that you put him out there and he struggles, and that could just affect him for the rest of his career. Like if you can just be patient and wait one season.
Perry, no one is patient anymore.
Well,
everything is instant gratification.
Everyone's being a biscuit about this. And,
absolutely.
And that's how I feel about it.
Son of a biscuit.